Hi there, I'm Ellen, and I could not get online as I normally do to write my blog because I just had a double mastectomy, and I'm doing great. By the way, I just want everybody to know that I'm doing great, but it's just hard for me to lay in the right position and have my arms in a certain way, and aside from the fact that I'm not getting any younger, and my two boys who are very excited to have me home, just are trying to nuzzle under me, and it's just been incredibly hard for me to use the keyboard. So what I thought I would do instead is to talk to you this way and try to just update all my friends. And I thought that maybe it might be kind of nice because you can also see how good I look. And basically, I'm sitting out here in my Carolina room, which I also use as an office, and it's dusk. It's about 7:30 at night, and it's I understand it's been a really, really lovely day. Basically, we went in on Friday morning at the crack of dawn, dark 30, as we say, and Randy brought me in at 5:30 in the morning for surgery, and they checked me in and gave me this really nice pre-op little place to go hang out in, and the tech came in and he looks at my hand and he saw my wedding ring, and of course you're not allowed to wear wedding rings, and I've normally gotten away with it because what I always thought the reason for it was that they didn't want to be liable for anything happening to an expensive piece of jewelry. And in my case, apparently it's very common when you have upper body surgery like this for there to be a lot of swelling over and above your extremities, and my ring was swollen on to begin with. By the way, that huffing and puffing that you're hearing is my 3-year-old German Shepherd, Ari, who is very excited to have his mommy home. And yet another reason why it's incredibly hard for me to type right now, because he's kind of circling around me and making sure that everything's okay. But in any case, so I got into the pre-op area where they start giving you, all the stuff, and for your medications and your anesthesia. And there were probably about 15 people in there, all in there to talk to me, and it was really very nice because a lot of people were extremely, extremely supportive of my surgery. For anyone listening to this knows that I had a mastectomy, a full mastectomy, because I tested positive for the BRCA2 mutant gene, which means I have like an 85% chance of getting breast cancer. So I made the decision to have both my breasts taken prior to getting it. I had already gone through ovarian cancer and had spent the better part of last year fighting ovarian cancer in stage 3C, and that's I just didn't want to have to go through all that all over again with my breasts. So we made the decision, and it's kind of interesting because whenever they see you coming in for something like this, they just assume that you have cancer. So they're all checking to see where my cancer is, and a lot of them were surprised that I didn't have any cancer, and it was very nice because a lot of them told me that I had a pair, which was kind of funny. But I think that they made them try even harder to do as much for me as they possibly can. The folks at More Regional are absolutely wonderful to begin with, and I'm just so incredibly thankful, obviously, for that. Where was I? So anyway, we so they were really intent on getting my wedding ring off without having to cut it. And I kept saying to them, just go ahead and cut it, for goodness sakes. It's just a wedding ring. I mean, really the valuable part was the diamond, not the gold as much, although gold is going up. But yeah, the diamond, of course, is very valuable. But, that was, I figured that it would be better if they just cut it off. But they were intent on trying to save it. And so my finger still has like this crazy indentation, on it. And I finally screamed uncle and said, please just cut it off, And the really cute thing was that, Dr. David Grantham, who started the surgery, and, Noel McDevitt, the plastic surgeon, who was finishing up with the plastic side of things, since he wasn't operating at the very tippity beginning, he actually hand-delivered my ring from the OR to my husband in the waiting ring, which was, I think, very, very cute. And very sweet on his part, because we would have trusted the people there. I mean, we knew that nobody was trying to rob us, or we trust people implicitly there, and we're just so thrilled about the quality of people that are in this community. But in any case, so Ari, you need to knock it off. This is Ari, and you can see that he is very, very excited about his mom being home, and he hasn't stopped trying to bring me his ball and all that stuff, and he's just really, really psyched that I'm here. But in any case, so we were, I woke up, and it was probably about a 9-hour surgery, and I did very, very well, and Dr. McDevitt got the spacers in, and there was hardly any bleeding at all. Apparently that's a pretty big deal. That's why you don't do things like take aspirin for the week prior to surgery, is so that you don't bleed a lot, so they don't have to suck out a lot of blood out of your body. So that went super duper well, and I woke up and was being cared for immediately by a wonderful nurse who lives in Pine Wild. Her name is Debbie, and she was just absolutely amazing and terrific. And again, everybody from the people that took my oxygen levels to my blood pressure to everything else, their big thing was making sure that I was really super duper comfortable. And they did, because I most definitely was super duper comfortable throughout the entire thing. And I started off with morphine drips, which worked out, very, very nicely. And went from the morphine to, I tried to go to a Percocet after like a day. Oh, incidentally, I was, they woke me up in my room, and of course Randy was there, and I had to get out of bed, and what we did, we went for a walk, and I was thinking that I would walk around the hallway, because I was in, of course, a lot of pain. And I was like, well, I'm going to soldier through, and I'm going to do the whole lap. And I said, I'm going to do 4 laps, and because that's just the way I like to think. And my sweet husband, who saw that I was in no condition to barely get to the doorway, got me, I think, to the nurse's station, as far as the nurse's station. And he counted 4 laps as like a few tiles on the floor, so that I would feel better about having accomplished something, which was very, very sweet. And, we certainly got through all that, and, I had to do a liquid dinner. It was quite late, actually, once they finished, because it was a 9-hour or so surgery, so it was quite late by the time, it was dinner time, and I had broths and whatnot, and, woke up the next morning and was able to eat, solid foods, and was fortunate to get phone calls from a few people. And if you called, by the way, and I didn't sound right, I'm so sorry. I just didn't expect anyone to call. I just, there were some visits from friends. My parents came out, and of course Randy was there. And, overall, I just want everybody to know that I'm doing super duper well. All I can think about is what comes next. And, I have like these I'm calling them hand grenades. They're they're these rubber balls that are connected to tubes, and the tubes go inside my body, and they take out like fluids, basically, that don't belong in my body, kind of like the garbage that's kind of coming out of my body. So that's what they're there for, and so we have to empty that every day. And Dr. McDevitt did a beautiful job stitching me. Everybody was admiring his work, and it's amazing how you are no longer quite as modest as you thought that you should be when you go into the hospital. Now, the reason why I'm so, again, here's my little boy wanting to do nothing more than to play, and that's all he wants to do is just play. And he's, I think, a little discouraged that mommy isn't just playing with him, isn't just, taking the time off and taking out the checker and taking him to the dog park. But, it's probably going to be another week before I make it out to the dog park. It's kind of hot out, and I need to keep wounds kind of clean and stuff like that. And, I do appreciate all the prayers and well wishes that came from everybody. Like I said, I'm looking forward to a lot of things. Randy and I are planning some trips, and we may be going out to Baltimore with my family for my dad's 85th birthday, and we'd like to go to the beach, and of course we want to do some camping, and all that is basically made possible because I don't have to worry about having cancer. It's definitely something to feel good about, and I'm just very appreciative of all my friends and stuff. In any case, I'm going to be going back to the doctor's office, I think, on this coming Wednesday, and figure out if I can get a ride from someone so that Randy doesn't have to come home. Yes, I do still have on my my little armband, as you can see, I'll as I think of things, I don't want to make this the longest ongoing recording in the history of recordings, but I did want to let y'all know how much I love you and appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time with all of you, all the people I love. All right, be well. Bye-bye.